power of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
All right. It's another Thursday night, as you can tell by Jeff's kind of out of sync beatboxing, which is not your fault because you're on Zoom. But Jeff is back. He was gone last week, so glad to have you back here. This is Docking Bay 94. You could be listening to us on Sci-Fi Radio. You could be watching us on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube. Any of those are cool and acceptable and spiffy. And glad to be back. I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys here. We cover the week in geek in terms of nerd news. So, and we goof off, and we're just a bunch of dorks. What can I say? Wow, and Jen, whatever you've got going on, Jeff, you look very sinister and evil. You went all red there for a minute. Yeah, it was creepy. Something splashed across your face. That's right. Jeff's not really paying attention to the show. He's just watching television.
I want to watch TV.
That's right. Next week on Docking Bay 94, we're just going to watch TV with the feed going. So
It'll be that whole reaction.
Right. It'll be Docking Bay 94's first reaction video.
Yeah.
The Lady A has signed in. Talon Thorne is here. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see y'all. Woohoo! And it has been a week. I'll tell you what, I'll run the theme down and Jeff up.
It has always been a week.
Yes.
Every week, it's been a week.
7 days. Da, 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 da. All right. Well, I hope it was a good week for people. This was not too bad.
I think it was good. It was better than the last couple weeks have been, so.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's nice.
So, yeah. See, Laura says Jeff is blushing. You're red for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, okay. Funky.
Now we know.
Well, and I always wear a ball cap which shades my face. I need to turn it around the other way like the kids do. I think if I turn my hat around, you get Miss Minutes. There you go. So now you got Miss Minutes. Except I look like a doof with my hat turned. I don't understand the point of this at all. It's like it doesn't shade your face. It's weird.
It's if you are inside.
Right.
If you're inside, you don't need to shade your face.
Good point. Good point. Or people who turn their hat sideways so the bill hangs off one side or the other.
Okay, that's just
that's kind of weird.
Doofy.
On the radio, like just you can't be heard? Oh, okay. Well, that is weird because
Yeah, Laura says she can't hear him.
Yeah, well, let me see if I can figure that out because you know what? Let me change a Zoom setting here for a second. And I bet it's Zoom. Hang on a second. Let us do this.
And Chris and Laura and Alan and Kelly.
Okay, say something, Jeff.
Woo!
And Laura.
Hi there, ho there.
And Kelly. See if you can...
Everybody hear me this time now?
If you can hear Jeff. Do we hear Jeff?
Bueller.
You should be okay now, I think, because I just
No one is saying
made a
anything.
change. I know. Like,
I mean, Kelly said she couldn't
I
hear
don't know.
Jeff, but that was before
I got,
Sean
like-
did the fix.
Okay, now they can hear
Yeah,
Jeff.
I don't know.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, so
They can?
sometimes I just had to restart my computer, and restarting my computer
Oh, there we go.
forced an update from
Yeah.
from Windows, and sometimes that messes with Zoom. So basically, what it did is it switched over to the USB controller that I have instead of coming out the speakers. We're a little analog over here. We're kind of old school, where I have a mixing board over here, and the mixing board has Jeff fed in through like a headphone cable. This is the Jeff cable right here, and he goes into the mixer, and
Yeah, it's,
that was it. So yeah, so that's weird. Funky. And yeah, you guys will always have a delay. Jeff always has a delay because he's on Zoom, but you'll always have a delay between different things. Like YouTube will have a delay from Twitch, which will have a delay from the radio. Technology, baby. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I keep looking at
looks like,
myself with my hat like this, and I just look like Tommy Chong. I feel like I should be
I hope
talking
you're not
about
going to smoke as much pot.
weed. Hey man, Dave's not here, man. Dave's
Pat,
not here.
Pat is listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube.
Oh, great! And Young Lee just popped in, and yeah, we're collecting a crowd.
Alrighty.
Nice stuff. All right, I got to fix my hat because I can't handle this.
Well, that's how you wear it when you wear a helmet over it,
Did you
though.
go back?
Yes, yeah. If I'm
Backwards again?
doing the helmet, that's for sure. Here we go. I'm back to being TVA. And I have
in the shadow.
Perry the Platypus here on my shoulder. So last Saturday, Colleen and I tried after we talked about it on the show. We tried to find the Phineas and Ferb ice cream truck, and we went to the farmers market where it was supposed to be, and it wasn't. And I tried 2 other locations that day. Colleen went off to do something, and I went to a couple other places looking for it. Couldn't find it. And so I sent a note. I said, did you change your mind? Are you not doing this promotion? And they sent me a note with locations and times. And there was like 1/3 the locations they were going to do. But today they had an actual location in West LA. And so we did. We went out to West LA to go see this Phineas and Ferb truck. And it's just an ice cream truck. And truth be told, I was a little bit disappointed in that they didn't have swag for sale. I thought for sure they were gonna have swag. But anyway, we found the truck.
Yeah.
Which was suitably decorated. Here's Colleen and I at the truck. If you're watching video, you can see this, and I'll try to give you play-by-play. And then we went to get like free ice cream. So they had ices in like little tubes, which were like sort of push-up-y, icy kind of things. And then they had regular ice cream sandwiches, which are the chocolate cookies with ice cream in the middle. And not labeled for individual sale, by the way. They obviously went to Costco.
And they were smaller than you would expect from a regular ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, they were pretty
But
tiny.
they were fine.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want for nothing?
Yeah.
Rubber biscuit?
Yeah.
So the only thing that they had that was labeled with Phineas and Ferb that you got to take away was a napkin.
Oh, and I
man.
saved one, but it's in my purse.
I'm showing the picture of it right now.
Okay.
Oh, and Jeff is not in the picture either. Where are you, Jeff?
That's okay.
Let's get Jeff in there.
I'm not in here at all. Yeah.
It was so funny. So we were talking about Phineas and Ferb and stuff, and they couldn't remember the name of Perry the Platypus, and so I did it in Doof's voice.
Oh, okay.
And so, and we started talking, and I mentioned that you do Doof better than I do Doof, and but I do Phineas better than you do Phineas, and so it was kind of funny, and so it was just this like the people didn't seem to know quite as much about this as they should have. In my
Yeah, they
And they
just
didn't
hired
have a
some
trash can.
Hired some monkeys to go out there and sell stuff.
yeah, they had no trash can.
So you had the litter in your hand from the ice cream.
I
And you
think
had
it's
nothing to do with it.
I think it's still in my pocket. In fact.
Oh, I threw that.
Oh,
But
jeez.
anyway, it's a very bright teal truck, and it was very.
Yeah,
we were trying to find it, and we had started going down one street, and I just caught this splash of teal out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, I think it's over there, and so we parked, and it was super easy to get to, for which we were grateful. It almost made up for walking around the farmers market Saturday for an hour trying to find it, but
Yeah, I gotta send a message to Povenmire. Say, hey, put a wastebasket in there.
right? Seriously, that would be good. Anyway, it was pretty good. I didn't wear my brown fedora. I completely missed the boat on that.
See?
But the truck runs around for a while, and I'll put the info in the chat or something because it's not where it says it's going to be anywhere. And they were really apologetic for it, and they're like, "Oh, somehow you slipped through the cracks." I'm like, "No, everybody slipped through the cracks," which is the real problem. So that was weird. Yeah. But anyway, it was fun nonetheless, and it's in the tradition of Disney
cool,
shoulder characters. I took one of the Disney Infinity characters for Perry, and I put a magnet on him.
Yeah,
which I thought was cool. But
nice.
Yeah, we had fun. It was a nice break.
That's cool though. I wish that
in the day.
I wish they had merchandise though.
Me too. And actually, so they're in Newport Beach when we're not, because
okay.
we were just there. We just did a parade, you and I.
Yes,
Jeff.
yeah.
And wouldn't that have been nice to have had that there?
I know.
While we were there, would have solved some problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was hoping they were selling T-shirts or they had hats or something. And there was, I guess, a debut party at DCA where and I don't know if it was open to the public or just the people who worked on the show. But everybody got Perry the Platypus hats, and they had a concert where all the people in the show, all the voice actors, got up and sang songs from the show, which was really great.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome to be at.
Clips of that.
Yes, and they didn't announce it. They didn't do it. I don't know if you got to participate, if you happened to be there that day or not.
Oh man.
There were a couple of things like that I feel like I missed out on. That's one of them. And the second one was the Savannah Bananas baseball organization took over Disneyland last Wednesday when I didn't go. And there was a parade and a party and a thing, and it was cool. And I'm like, ugh, because usually I go on a Wednesday, and I completely missed it. So boo.
That's a bummer,
Disney fail.
Heck? Yeah. Oh, I'm giving you a really short video link that you can, if you want to put it up or not. It's about what you just talked about.
Sure.
The,
let me
concert.
go find it, and I'll play some of it.
Probably get bumped out.
Dinged for it. At this point, I don't care. It's like every time they do a thing for us, we get busted. Yeah. And I don't understand how it works, because we are supposed to be able to we're supposed to be able to play trailers and stuff, and yet we can't, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that is.
I mean, at least it'll play on Twitch or not Twitch. What is it? Twitch and which one is it doing that? Is it YouTube or Twitch?
I think it's YouTube. All right. So this must be it.
That doesn't matter then.
Because it's
only it's not.
If I had a nickel for
goodness gracious. It's very loud, so let me turn that down a little bit.
Yes. It's Dave.
And
Or Dan, I mean.
It's
not
Dan, and Dan is in love with Reels and YouTube, and so he does everything in these portrait mode things.
Yeah, it's
All
all
right.
like the TikTok.
Here we go. So Dan Povenmire is one of the creators of Phineas and Ferb, along with Swampy Marsh, and he has become a internet phenomenon as he clues us all into Phineas and Ferb. Which, by the way, if you have the Disney Channel, you can watch Phineas and Ferb right now. If you have Disney Plus, they will be delayed by a day, so the first episode will be on tomorrow on Disney Plus. Or if you want to circumvent all of that, you can go to YouTube, go to the official Phineas and Ferb and the Disney Plus channel, or the Disney Channel channel, and you can see the first 9-minute episode, the first half of the episode there. Okay, here is Dan Povenmire, a.k.a. the voice of Doofenshmirtz.
Every time Ashley Tisdale and Olivia Olson performed Busted live, I'd have 1 nickel. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it took 20 years for that to happen, right?
He held up a dime.
That's a nickel.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Season 5 premieres on Thursday.
So Ashley Tisdale is Candace, and Olivia Olson is Vanessa, Doofenshmirtz's daughter. Can I just say that I remember Olivia Olson from Love Actually, where she was the interest of the guy who used to play Ferb. He's not doing it anymore. But Thomas Brody Sangster used to be Ferb, and Ferb had like one line an episode. And he was chasing Olivia Olson's character in Love Actually. It's one of the few like wholesome stories in Love Actually. And the so I'm used to her as this little girl, and Ashley Olsen is not a little girl anymore. It kind of breaks my head because she's like in some black sheath dress, and it's like, okay, she's hot. When did that happen? It makes me laugh. Anyway,
it is always a little weird when you see someone that you knew as a little kid, and then they're an adult, and you're like, I'm gross.
Right, it's like impure thoughts, impure thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really funny. I have worked with Miss Minutes off and on over the years, and she's a real sweetheart. And she decided that she needed a glow up, and she has done the same thing where she's made herself very hot and very attractive, and she's also like Rainbow Sparkle or something from My Little Pony. And it's just a little weird.
Yeah. Oh, Tara. Yeah.
Yeah, Tara Strong. And it's like, because we did a thing, and she was live there on set playing Harley Quinn for us, and it was like, wow, okay, different Tara. But yeah, it's especially weird with little kids or someone who plays like a little kid part that you're used to. It's like, not so much. I made a similar.
Yeah.
There was a magazine cover that featured Dawn from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Michelle Trachtenberg, on it, and she was trying to shed her little kid image, and she just went full vamp, and it was like, whoa, that is not how I think of her. And that was pretty funny. She was on, I don't remember what the men's magazine cover was, Stuff or something like that, and it was like, Like, that's one way to get over the kid role hump, is to like go full sexy.
Yeah.
Very funny. Anyway, so Jeff introduced me to Phineas and Ferb, and I've enjoyed it very much. I'm not even sure that I've seen them all. I guess I should check on that. But anyway, they're back after a 10-year hiatus. That's a long time for a cartoon series to get a second season. And when we say season, there's 140 episodes of it. So technically it's a 5th season. But very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know which kids are coming back. I know that the actors that played Phineas and Ferb are not back. They let's recast them.
Phineas is back.
Which ones they did?
It's the same Phineas.
He did come back?
Yeah, he's back. It's a different Ferb.
Okay, they must be really tweaking his voice then.
And I think I just saw something with Kelly Hu in it.
Oh, that's good.
I think
Yay.
I think Isabella is back. I think they got most of the people back. I think it's just Ferb who didn't come back.
You think it's just Ferb?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
And so basically, Vincent, I think is the name of the actor who does Phineas. He can still do it, even though he was a kid when he started. He can still get back there and do it. Yeah, which I think, like, if I can do Phineas, he should be able to.
Yeah, Phineas. I think they sort of speed the voice up a tiny bit.
They might
when they do it.
They might
for him, because when, like, if you see the very, very first episode, which was it had the roller coaster.
Oh yeah,
they built a roller coaster. That was the very first one, and then any episode after that, his voice is just starts getting. It's different.
Right. Well, it takes him a while to find a voice, and sometimes between a pilot episode and the actual production episode, it changes. There was this episode of The Simpsons where Dan Castellaneta made fun of himself. He was being Homer, and Marge said something about, "Oh my gosh, that was so long ago," and Dan Castellaneta's like, "Yes, when I used to talk like this," and he like did his old Homer voice, which was so different from what we understand him to be now.
Yeah,
really made me laugh.
Yeah, it was very much more in the throat than it was when he moved around to later.
Yeah,
yes,
that was really cool. Anyway, so we are glad that we found the Phineas and Ferb truck. What I've seen of the episodes so far have been good. If you're a fan of that, it is a no-brainer, and it will be on Disney Plus, like probably at midnight. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm not staying up to midnight to watch it.
No, there's always tomorrow.
Right.
We just caught up with Doctor Who. That was a bit of a shocker. The last episode of this season of Doctor Who.
Yeah, but don't spoil it for people.
Oh, I won't.
Okay.
I won't. It was just like, wow, unexpected.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll see. Kelly's like, people's voice changes because puberty happens, and that's true. We had a whole Brady Bunch episode about that. We know.
Change
because it's time to change. Yeah, I will not play that for you.
So, what else did you guys do this week?
I put my car in the shop because I broke it on the way back from an event. I hit a giant piece of foam, which tore out the right front of my bumper. Which I had already kind of done a little bit with the traffic cone that I hit on the road coming back from Disneyland. It was one of those tall traffic cones there was a whole row of them blocking off the off-ramp, and one of them somehow, and I didn't look and see if there was like a toy underneath it, like Buzz Lightyear or anything. There could have been. Yeah. It was somehow in the middle of lanes. And my reaction time, I guess, is not quite fast enough because I tried to move out of the way, and I still clipped it with the right corner of my car, which is exactly what I did with this foam thing, because we were doing 70 on the road. There were high winds, and gusts of wind up to 90 miles an hour. And it blew this giant piece of foam in front of my car, even though I was trying to go around it. So I hit it, took it out. And so the cone took out my headlight 6 months ago. And then this foam thing took out the rest of my car. So we found a place that would work on the car, which was a problem with the headlight because nobody wanted to take it on because they were like, it's not enough money for us to do. We'll write up the proposal, but we're not gonna do it. And so found a place 2 miles from the house that'll do it, which is great. Strangely, across the street from where we bought Colleen's car, her Hyundai, which was kind of weird. So it's no longer there. It's a Hertz rent-a-car sales place, I think, right now. And it's near what's its face's donuts? Randy's Donuts, the big giant donut. It's like a half a block from that.
Okay.
And so so I took the car in. They're excited to work on it. The insurance company will honor my previous estimate for the headlight, but they're making us pay 2 deductibles because it's 2 separate incidents. So our deductible isn't horrible, so we will survive. But it'll be nice to have my car back together. But right now, Colleen and I are sharing a car, which is weird. We've never quite done that before. Because when...
Well, there was the month when I didn't have a car.
Right. I guess that's true.
Oh.
And so... But in our 37-year relationship... we either she had a car and I didn't have a license, or I got my license and we both had vehicles. So that was so it's been a little interesting. Colleen's been very kind with her car. But today was going to that ice cream truck was very much like a throwback to the early days of our relationship, where if we wanted to do something fun, we both went together and she drove and we did a thing, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but there's an event coming up this weekend or tomorrow, I guess, Jeff, that you clued me into, and if I do that, I have to steal Colleen's car. To do it.
Uh-oh.
As long as I get to go to the post office first.
The event's at 4, so
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, it's probably good. When you say that you were a whole month, was that were you driving the Honda, or was this a different one?
No, I'm talking about when my car, I had a Corolla, and it died in the desert on the way to Arizona. And we had to get a U-Haul to come home. And it took us a month to find a new car.
Yeah.
I wasn't like really in a super hurry because my work was close enough to walk to. It was a long walk, but it was close enough to walk to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. But it was kind of a challenge to get to events and everything. I didn't go to events that month, really.
Well, and what Colleen did is she had me do legwork on the car. Then I went to dealerships to check out cars that I thought she would like, came back with that like best of list, and then took her to dealerships to check out specific cars that I thought she would like based on her criteria. And so that took a while. To do, and then when we bought her current car, we test drove it. She liked it. She thought that was the one she wanted to buy. I then went back, negotiated the deal so that all that Colleen had to do was show up, sign the paperwork.
It was awesome.
And take the car. So and so that took a bit of time to do. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it was worth it because she didn't have to deal with the crazy of buying a car. And that awful thing that happens to women who go to buy cars when they're like, okay, little lady, let me show you a car, which is just sucks that's still a thing. But, and I didn't have to deal with any, sexy car sales ladies going, ooh, you want this one? Like, this car's for my wife. Please go away. That was not a thing either. So.
Yeah, Kelly's right that everyone needs a car in LA.
Yes.
No one walks in LA.
Only a nobody walks in LA, says the song.
Right.
So. Kelly's like, by the knitting tree. Like,
it was, in fact, while we were coming home, Sean said, "Do you need anything?
Do you
have enough yarn?"
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine.
That was pretty funny.
I don't need any yarn. Last weekend, I went to 2 English country dances, dance practices.
Wow.
I know. It was crazy. The first one was in Anaheim, and I went to it because I'm going to a ball on Saturday, and this particular dance class was specifically for the ball that's next Saturday. So I got a chance to practice the actual dances that they're going to be doing. And then while I was there, I got a whole bunch of peer pressure to go to a dance class that was in Pasadena on Sunday. And so I caved to the peer pressure, went to the dance class, and it was so good. Really enjoyed it.
I'm glad you went.
Should I tell everybody why? One of the reasons? I mean, it was good anyway. The dance instructor was really good, and I just had a really enjoyable time. But
I think this is a crowd that would understand that.
Okay, so
Jeff will, for sure.
I go to the dance, and the instructor starts talking, and all of a sudden I'm smiling. Everything he says is making me smile. And I can't figure out why, but it's just like really, I feel joyful whenever I'm hearing him talking. And I realized that he sounded exactly like Utah Phillips, who is the guy who sings...
he sings Moose Turd Pie. Yeah. So if you've ever heard that comedy routine on Dr. Demento, Moose Turd Pie, he's got a folksy delivery, and it's not really a song. It's like a spoken word piece story.
But I kept talking to people around me, people that I knew, and saying, "Oh my gosh, he sounds just like Utah Phillips." And then they looked at me blankly, and I went, "Who did the song Moose Turd Pie?" And they all looked at me blankly, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So then halfway through the dance, they have a tea, and I put my purse down on one of the tables. There was a big empty table. I put my purse down, and I went and I got there's a buffet line for the tea. Got my tea. I come back, and the dance instructor is sitting next to me. And so I sit down and I turn to him and I say, "I'm sorry, this might be rude of me, but I have to tell you, your voice is just bringing me so much joy because you sound to me, you have the same vocal patterns as Utah Phillips." Big grin on his face, and he starts quoting me lines from Moose Turd Pie. And he says, "Well, I've never met Utah Phillips, but he's a friend of a friend." So it was really great. And he said he was super flattered. And like I said, he was the best dance instructor I've ever taken a class from. Just really easy to understand what he's talking about.
Cool.
And English country dance, I know it sounds stupid that it's hard, but because basically it's just walking in patterns.
It's hard.
But they'll say, turn this way and then do that, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
So.
Well, and anybody who, had to take square dancing in elementary school and that kind of stuff gets that it can be complicated, even though it doesn't sound complicated. And you see people do it all the time in movies and stuff. Obviously, it can be taught. But, there's a lot going on when you're dancing with strangers and they want you to turn left and then turn right and do this.
And sometimes the callers will stop calling right in the middle of the dance because they're like, "Oh, everybody's getting it.
You
so
have
they
it now."
Stop calling, and you're like,
right.
"Oh, you thought I had it. I do not."
So much.
Yeah.
But, I'm really glad that you went because you had so much fun.
I did.
Doing
it was really good.
So that was pretty great. Now, Jeff, this was kind of an unusual week for you because you had 9 days of work in a row.
Yeah.
and some of those were till 1 a.m.?
Yeah, the previous week I had 7 days in a row, and that's because they called me to come in to do a shift, like at a it was when the American Idol contestants were at Disneyland. They were doing a little video thing for American Idol.
I saw that because Lin-Manuel Miranda was there as a mentor.
Yes. Yeah, and so they did that, and that made it 7 days in a row when I had that, and then I got a few days, 3 days off. Then I went back in, and yesterday was 9 days.
Wow.
So that's too much.
That's that.
So
were any of those a grad night? All the grad nights are at DCA, right? So you didn't have to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to do them. And usually the park, Disneyland, usually tends to, I think, as far as I remember, closes like at 11 or something when it's a grad night over there. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think it does too, because I think they just want to get everybody out so that they can get more people into DCA. I think it's a traffic flow thing regarding the trams and such.
Yeah.
So and also probably a personnel issue. They probably put more people on in the other park and fewer people on at Disneyland.
Because I think they have to get them all the grad students have to be over like at DCA by like it's either 8 or 9. Something like that. I think it's like 9 actually, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, it was crazy to have 9 days in a row, but I'm like, all right, I made it.
Wow.
At least the last day was 4 hours or so.
Right, and they let you go at least one of those days, which was nice because you're like, I was supposed to stay till this time, and they let me go, and I'm going to sleep now because I'm a zombie.
Oh, that was Saturday, I think, when we did the parade.
The Ghostbusters parade.
So like I hadn't got a lot of sleep. I guess much sleep the night before. I fell asleep, got up, did the parade, and we did the parade. Did all that walking, and then I came home, showered, jumped in the shower for literally like less than 15 minutes to just rinse off and soap up and go.
At least you got that that opportunity.
Then I got to work and boom, boom, and then I'm like, okay, I want to ER. Let me go. So I got to leave a little early. It was like a couple hours early or something.
Okay.
But yeah. Ugh. I was so tired.
So we did this Ghostbusters parade, which was and there's no pictures up on our Facebook page for it. I think they're all in like Discord or something.
Ours?
Yeah.
They're
all in Discord or something.
Discord,
But the parade there were 2 parades that day, and normally we would be at the Pride Parade in West Hollywood. But my car was bashed up, so I bailed out of it because you can't drive a messed up car there. And
I could do it from time frame.
Yeah, and you had to go to work like right after, and so getting from Hollywood to Anaheim would have been bad. So we ended up in Newport Beach at the Balboa Island 30th anniversary parade. It's the 30th anniversary of this parade. Yeah. And it's like a mile at the most. It is the shortest parade. Because you come off the main drag and you go down one street and then it's over. And then it turns into like a street party.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't the hard part. The hard part was getting back to our cars.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing in place to shuttle people back and forth. Where we had 2 Ghostbusters vehicles in the parade, but the drivers didn't make arrangements to get like if they had just taken Jeff, because Jeff had to get back to go to work because he had a time frame, that would have been fine. I'd have stayed. I could have walked back myself. That would have been okay. But Jeff went to walk back, so I'm like, I'll come back. And I had the remote control RTV, so I was driving it back. I was curious to see how long my batteries were going to last anyway. And
and too.
Yeah, so I mean, it did pretty good. It did but the walk back was 2 miles, and I looked at Google Maps and it said mostly flat, and that was BS because it was not mostly flat.
That was a lie.
There were a lot of hills. So by the time we got back to the car, we were dead. And there were some guys right behind us that we didn't even know were right behind us.
They were walking too in like full gear too. Man.
Right, and they're like, let's not ever do that again.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Like, dude,
it
fix that.
Yeah, it was a total bummer. But I'm glad you made it to work in time. But you must have just been a zombie. because I was tired.
Pretty much. I got home. I took a shower, and then I grabbed some food to. Actually, you know, I only ate half of that burrito for that he brought.
Right.
And
I felt so bad that I turned
like
his burrito down.
Burrito.
There were 20 of us. He made like 20
person,
burritos, and I'm like, I am not a burrito person, and so I normally won't eat a burrito because I don't like, you know, beans and rice jammed in with other stuff, and it's just a personal issue.
Yeah.
And this was a breakfast burrito, which is even lower on my totem pole than that. I'm like, I felt so bad turning him down because he's like, I have extras. I'm like, I am so sorry. I'm going to be a complete jerk and not eat your burrito.
Yeah. But it was good, and I ate half of it before the parade, and then I left the other half going, I don't want to have problems. And so I got in the car. When I got home, I just left it in the car because my car was warm. It still's there.
Yeah.
And I ate it on the way to work with I made it iced coffee, so I'm guzzling iced coffee, eating a burrito. I'm driving to work.
Oh my
gosh.
I went to Arby's, and I had a sandwich at Arby's, and the people there were super nice. It was an old school but well kept Arby's, and I felt really bad for them because most of the Arby's are sort of closing in our area, and right across the parking lot, directly next to it, with a driveway off the main road, which was beach, right off of it, was an In-N-Out. So like there was an Arby's, which are almost always struggling, and then some dope put an In-N-Out right next to it, which always gets all the traffic. I felt really bad for these guys.
Yeah, that pretty much. Yeah.
I'm like, ugh. Because
I figure that would have killed it. Jeez.
It was, and there was nobody in it when I went in, but eventually something happened, and they had a wave of people. They filled it. They filled the restaurant.
Oh.
So people must still like
weird.
People other than me must still like Arby's. I don't go very often, but I do like them. So that's pretty funny.
Go get your sandwich. Ah!
And what's this other thing you repaired your bathroom floor?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a so this is weird. After we moved in, and we were saying that we're having issues with that the ceiling was leaking and stuff, and we're like, what's going on? And they came out and they figured out that there was something wrong with the drain, like the toilet drain or the shower drain, whatever. There's some drain. So they had to go in and literally rip up the floor and fix it, and then they put the seat back, the toilet back in, but they had to take out wood that had gone, had all that water damage. But they didn't put wood back in that would fill the gap so it was level, so the entire floor would be completely flat right where that was.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to. So they put it back. So basically, there's a little bit of a sinkage, if you want to call that. And it's a linoleum floor.
Uh-huh.
But they had to cut out a hole in that floor when they did all the work, and then when they put the toilet back, it was lowered. And so I didn't go and say I didn't pull up the toilet and fix it. I'm like, I'm doing that crap. No.
Uh-huh.
You guys could fix that.
Yes.
But so all I did was we got some clear RTV type stuff. And I just basically put it in for all where the cuts were.
Right.
And there's all the gap filled all the gap in with it, because if for some reason if we get any water onto the floor there, it'll start leaking right down through the ceiling or whatever where it's leaking before.
Well.
Yeah. And that happens sometimes. So I just did that today. That was just basically doing this long, I don't know, let's say it was probably like 3 to 4 feet long line because it turned around the toilet and stuff.
Cool.
Cut work they did. Yeah. So that'll all be done, I guess, curing tomorrow by 5 p.m. So it takes like a 24 to cure. But it's totally clear. It dries totally clear. I went in there earlier. It was a lot of it's curing already. I'm like, where'd the glue go? It's there.
Yeah, it's invisible.
It's just clear now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, Dawn.
Yeah, so that was my fun little chore.
Nice. Dawn showed up. So I need to.
Yeah, I see that.
I need to share this with Dawn. So Dawn dressed as Quint and met us at the Egyptian Theater when we went to the 50th anniversary screening of Jaws from the American Cinematheque. So I did Hooper, Jeff did Brody, and so the Mattel toy store is a stone's throw from our house, down the street from where we used to live in El Segundo. And I stopped in the other day, and I found a thing that we need to. You're probably. I don't know, you might not, but you might want one of these, Dawn. So this is a set of little people from Fisher-Price. And they have Brody and Quint and Hooper. Quint is being eaten by the shark. So there's Hooper, and there's Brody, and there's Quint.
Yeah.
And, they're Fisher-Price little people. They're just little tiny, and they're kind of awesome. They're really, really nicely designed set. This is the back of the box. And
it's pretty cool.
I thought it was really great. And so they're like 1/3 the size of Funko Pops, maybe. And it's a neat set. And they do some really bizarre sets of these. There's one that is The Boys from the television series The Boys, which doesn't exactly seem like a very kid-friendly thing. And these are not aimed at kids at all. Of course, they're all aimed at adult collectors and whatnot.
Totally.
And they probably have your favorite football team, if you like football and that kind of thing, because they just they make these things all the time. But my gosh, they were really kind of fun. And there are in-jokes all over the box, like Brody's chum bucket is there, and Hooper's mask and fins and tank are there. And then there's a little drawing of a shark that's the same drawing that Quint made on the chalkboard, where he scratches his fingers down the chalkboard. And so like the whole box is full of little in-joke things. And if you look out the window, there's the fin of the shark out the window. They're like comparing scars or whatever. It's very funny. So Dawn, you can probably get those at Target. But
you can buy them online from the Mattel store.
Right, you can buy them online from the Mattel store, and in a pinch, if you want me to, I'll go down and grab one. Because they did have a whole bunch of them, and I don't remember what they were. I don't know if they gave me a discount. I show them pictures of you in costume as their little people. They give you discounts. It was pretty funny. But anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool acquisition for this week. And since Dawn was on the chat, I thought I'll grab him while he's still here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that was our week. I think that's just about everything,
Pretty
right?
Cool, dude.
Star Wars history.
Woohoo! Yeah, can't remember anything else for this past week. We got birthdays, all three of them. June 6th, June 1st, 1920, is when Alethea McGrath was born. She played Jocasta Nu in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. It says video game, but I thought she played her in the live action too.
Oh, she probably did it
someone
too.
Else played her in live action.
A lot of people doubled up on their roles for things like that.
Yeah, it looks like yeah. So it's weird. It's showing. Maybe it's the game for 3, but not. But okay, she was. That's what it is. She played she played her in the in Attack of the Clones, and then in the video game for Revenge of the Sith. Because I don't think the librarian even showed up in Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
So yeah. And of course, as it is usual, 45 credits. Not a lot, but it's still 45.
That's respectable. Not a problem.
Yeah. A few sci-fis and stuff. So not just one thing. Prisoner, but I don't think it's The Prisoner. Darn it, I don't know what that is. Anyway, 25 episodes playing Dot Farrar in Prisoner. But I don't think that's the same show that was.
No,
something else.
The Prisoner didn't go that many episodes. You're thinking of the thing with Patrick McGowan.
Yeah. This is something else. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's see here. Number 2, June 3rd, 1930. This is when Morris Bush was born. And Morris played. I'm sorry, Morris. It's probably supposed to be Maurice.
No, I think it's Morris. Like Morris the cat.
It says actor. He went by Maury, I think too, but it's like Maurice.
Yeah, Maury's short for Morris.
But yeah, he played Dengar.
The bounty hunter with a diaper on his head.
Yeah, that was something. But also 57 other parts too. So he was an Inspector Morse. How about that?
Now this is interesting. He stood in for David Prowse immediately after Obi-Wan Kenobi died in the first Star Wars movie. So the guy in the suit walking towards the door after Obi-Wan died wasn't David Prowse. Funny.
Yeah. I mean, what the heck, man? And it doesn't, like in IMDb, it doesn't really tell you about his Star Wars
No.
New Hope.
He was in Return of the Jedi. It says as Dengar.
Oh, there it is. You have to scroll down to additional crew.
Oh, got it.
Okay. That's his credit. Yeah. How about that?
He was in Doctor Who for 6 episodes. So that's pretty good. Ooh, he was in The Creeping Flesh. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And The Clockwork Orange. So, he had a lot of stuff, even genre stuff. So he had a pretty good.
He was in A Clockwork Orange with David Prowse.
Yeah.
In that movie, too.
Yeah. So,
that's funny.
Maybe that's how. Must have been
he was in.
Okay.
He was in A Shot in the Dark, which was the first Pink Panther movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep. The last birthday was June 5th, 1961. Mary Kay Bergman. She was the voice of Tomo and 5 others in the Phantom Menace video game.
Mary Kay Bergman did a lot of voices. She was best known for being every female character in South Park. She basically did all of it. And she was in Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. She did Lady and the Tramp 2, a bunch of stuff like that. And a little bit of a public service announcement here. Mary Kay Bergman, who was having a very good career, and things were going very, very well for her, had a terrible battle with depression. And sadly, at the age of about 40, she took her own life. And everything was going terrific in her life as near as anybody could tell. And the project she was working on, Mulan, Iron Giant, Extreme Ghostbusters, The Curse of Monkey Island. She was doing all of these great, great projects, lots of Disney stuff. She was just busy working all the time. And so she seemed to have everything going on for herself. Nobody really understand what happened, but depression is a strange, terrible, terrible thing. We have on our radio station a group called Badass, which is the Brown Coat Auxiliary, and you can go to youarbadass.org I think. And
Oh.
if you want someone to talk to, if you're having mental health issues or something like that, they are licensed and they're a proper 501c3 and they know what they're doing and they can point you at someone to talk to and get a little help and things like that. I only met Mary Kay Bergman like a handful of times. I took a voiceover class with her, and there was no warning, from not that I knew her super well, but there was no warning. So anyway, seek help. Don't end up like her, because she was amazing. She was absolutely amazing and super talented, and it's such a surprise and a shock and things like that. So,
yeah,
crazy. And she was married to another actor and a producer who was doing a lot of stuff and lots of voices also, and kind of crazy. But she was a sweetheart, and it was just like, whoa. So anyway, that's my PSA.
Good grief.
Just in case. That's the drawback to our birthdays. Everyone on our birthday list has passed away.
Yeah, true.
So.
But I'm celebrating when they were born, not the.
Oh
way
yeah,
around, so.
yeah, completely.
Yeah.
So.
Regular history. May 31st, 2003. That's when Dooku and Yoda's battle, their little fight, and Attack of the Clones, won the best fight at the MTV Movie Awards.
Yoda's whirling dervish.
Yes. The flea at a hot plate. June 3rd, 2006. That's when Hayden Christensen won Best Villain at the MTV Movie Awards for Revenge of the Sith.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And lastly, but not leastly, June 2nd, 2014, Rolling Stone magazine interviewed George about the cult of Darth Vader.
That would be a weird cult to join, but okay.
Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, Kylo's in it probably, but.
Yeah, right?
Just as an alert, because I promised I would do this, and before I forget, I am posting the list, and I don't know how well this is going to come across the chat. I'm posting the list of all of the locations of the Phineas and Ferb ice cream truck. There's still a few days of that left, and I'm going to send it to everybody. It's a little bit of a mishmash, but you can look up the dates there, and you can kind of sort it out. So, but I wanted to do that
all LA.
Before I forgot. Well, no, there's Huntington Beach. There's Aquarium of the Pacific.
Where?
And there's Newport Beach again tomorrow. They're in Newport Beach.
Yeah,
they were
not on the list you put here, but maybe I can't read it.
Yeah, it should be. For YouTube somehow it truncated it. Yeah, it cut it. That was really weird.
Both of them really.
I wonder, maybe I can post like a picture or something. Since there's only a few days left, maybe I can post a picture.
Yeah.
Because it's so tomorrow it's Newport Beach at the Balboa Park Fun Zone where we just were. Huntington Beach at AYSO soccer tournament on Golden West. That's Saturday, and then Sunday it's Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach. So.
Gotcha.
I'll see what I can do about an image that doesn't,
yeah. I'm going to have to go tomorrow and drive down there before the other thing and go down to Newport.
Right.
Find them.
All right.
Wear my Perry shirt.
Right. You have a Perry shirt. I didn't have one, and I didn't take a fedora. So was that a luck? Hey.
I didn't have anything.
I know. Poor Colleen had to wear a Star Wars shirt. What the heck? I wore my Jabba the Hutt shirt, so I got that going for me.
Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, it's the coffee.
I think I even have a stuffed Perry here somewhere.
Here's the coffee company for Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
All right. You guys could be listening to sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. Sci-fi.radio is also a handy-dandy URL. We've got music up there 24/7. We have nerd news up there written by humans for humans. We got a program schedule up there that would tell you that tomorrow I'm on the air from 9 to 11, as I am Monday through Friday, doing the morning music show. That time is Pacific. And also all the stuff coming up this weekend. We've got all sorts of fun shows and programs and things going on for you. So do check that out. Sci-fi.radio is also listener supported. So if you're feeling generous, think about that Patreon button, won't you? Because that's what keeps things rolling along. Beyond that, you might be watching us on YouTube or on Twitch or on Facebook. Yeah. All of those are pretty great. This show is called Docking Bay 94. So we're pleased to have you as company. I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And Kit Boba-Kit Sovine is working tonight, but she got our show document in order before we started the show, and does that for us every week, for which we are grateful. So
very grateful.
We don't have to do it because she's nice. So there you go. Anyway, thanks for tuning in with us.
Sam Whitworth shared details on Shadow Lord. I'm assuming one of you guys knows about this. No.
Yeah, it is the. If you could hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's the new show, animated one they're doing.
It's like the Darth Maul show.
The animated Darth Maul. So of course he's playing him, and he says just like it's gonna cover more of him, and he said he's not a good guy, but he's not the worst. He's not the most evil bad guy. That's how I put it.
Bad guys versus
he's a good guy. He's a good bad guy who went good, but he's,
yeah.
He'll have humanity popping up in him from time to time, more than he did, and it'll, so he's not as bad as Palpatine or Vader, I guess, but he's still a bad guy.
Yeah, he says it's bad guys versus worse guys. So
yes,
we'll see. It's I don't know. We have a never-ending trend now of making bad guys into good guys in some form or another.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I'm still not over the fact that he came back from the dead after being cut in half. That pretty much should have just taken him right out. But we'll see. And of course, Sam Witwer's been playing Darth Maul for a very long time. He took over for Peter Serafinowicz, who was the voice of Maul when in the movies, and so it's been okay.
Mark Hamill was doing some interviews and said why he won't return as Luke, and I don't know if he really said why he won't return, but he did say that he thinks that he's had his time, his character has passed away, and I think they should focus on the future and all the new characters. And I guess the reason that he said he shouldn't come back is that when he disappeared in The Last Jedi, he left his robes behind, and there's no way I'm going to appear as a naked Force ghost. So that was his reason.
Right. Well, and there's a little something else that happened with Mark Hamill, too. Mark Hamill was presenting in the UK at the BAFTAs, and he had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction. So before he left California, he went to his tailor, and he got his tux, and he had it adjusted, and his tailor's like, okay, how is it? And he's like, pants are a little bit tight. You could let him out like just a skosh. And so he took him back. He got his tux back. He dressed for the show, and then the pants didn't fit. They were like 4 inches too big. And so the dresser like got some safety pins and like pinned them all together and things like that. And he thought, okay, good, this'll get me across the thing. And he walks out to the podium and he loses his pants. The pin pops and his pants are like sliding down behind the podium. And he was talking about this on the Colbert Show. And he kept reading from the teleprompter as he's like pulling his pants back up and, you know, life goes on kind of a deal. And Colbert's like, did you start Ozempic or something? What happened? And he's like, no, it was every actor's nightmare. And they just sort of like overcompensated for the pants. And he's like, I feel the pin pop, and every step I took, they slipped lower and lower and lower. Oh. I'm not kidding you. They were at my knees by the time I got to the podium. Hamill added that when production cut to show clips of the nominees, he frantically looked around to find his wife. Instead, he landed on Demi Moore, and he mouthed to Demi Moore, "Did you see my pants go?" And she gave 2 enthusiastic thumbs up, which is more support than he got for his pants.
That's funny.
But anyway, he's like, I just willed myself like hypnosis. I was trying to beam into their eyes. You did not see my pants fall down. It's all an illusion. Anyway, he didn't even acknowledge it. Trick. Didn't make a joke. Didn't do anything. And you can see, you didn't see anything like his pants having fallen down. And you knew he was fiddling with his pants on TV. You could see that, but you know, it didn't show anything. And he said he was embarrassed, but he got the respect of his fellow actors. So Timothy Chalamet came up, and Ed Norton came up too at the after party and said, "Dude, that was a master class in professionalism." Anyway, that's super awkward, but you know, it happens. And of course, Mark Hamill's like, "Oh, thanks for bringing it to the American public. It should have stayed in England, where the show was." But anyway, and he says, "My pants are very secure tonight on the show."
Before we move along, I would like to say happy birthday coming up Saturday to Kelly, and happy anniversary to Sam and Debbie coming up the same day.
Wow!
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yay.
Will there be face diving?
If Debbie's there, there must be face diving.
There must be face diving. In case you don't know what face diving is, it is when you get a full loaf of King's Hawaiian bread, one of the big puffy muffin-like ones that's about 9 inches.
It's like a pie, but made
diameter.
out of Hawaiian bread.
Yes, it is. It's a big puff of bread.
Yes.
And you face dive into it and come up with a big piece of it in your mouth. It's a thing we used to do at Renaissance Fair. And it was... It got connected with Debbie specifically, which we thought was very funny. Yeah. And this was a thing they did at their wedding because that was the tradition. I think we had to go out and get some and bring it to make sure it happened.
I think Aubrey did that to her sister one year with a real cake.
Oh.
Oh no, the bread was better because we used to do this at Renaissance Fair too.
Yeah, she was saying boy, she's saying, "Oh, yeah, I can see my face going, right in that cake," and then Aubrey's like, "Okay."
That's pretty funny.
And so her face was covered in cake. Too funny.
All right, so here is a thing that Jeff needs to speak on, being the voice of experience. What's up with the Autopia car that derailed at Disneyland?
Oh man.
Or are you not allowed to talk about it?
I assume you weren't working that ride that night.
I was there, but not at that time. So it was the same day, I believe, but not at that time. I was working later. Because if a derailment happens, then the ride will go down. Yeah, because they have to go.
I didn't
and get the
even
darn
know
thing out
that
of
was
there.
a possibility. I'm gonna show a picture from this news article over here. I mean, that's kind of crazy. That's deep in the rough.
Not really. It looks like it is, but is it?
It looks like it is
So-
for sure. Yeah.
It's a weird picture, but yeah. It's basically, I don't think it derailed very far. People are like, oh my gosh, it's flew. I'm like, well, not really, because it's very deceptive, the picture.
Okay.
Where they're at is the little off-road part
Right.
of the ride, where you go out and you go, oh look, we're going off-road with the cars now. That's where the car is, just off the track right there. So it looks like it's way up there and it's just off the track a little ways.
Okay.
Because the off-road area has a weird change in the way that the let's see, the track and surface, the angle changes quite a bit there. It's like it's very abrupt change in the bit and that. And I guess if you hit it at a certain angle, because you drive the thing, and there is a guide rail in the middle of the ride. And if you steer it, but if you there are people that you see them all the time on the ride that are wildly swinging the steering wheel left to right, or just letting the car do it, whatever. But if you get it, I think at the right exact time, at the right speed, whatever, there's a chance that something like that could happen, because it has the cars have little guide wheels in the front, much like similar to like a roller coaster, I guess. They're just in other words, if for anyone else, they look like really really big wheels for a skateboard or something. They're that's kind of what it is, just big rollers. And they're just on the front, and that's what's keeping you. Bing bing bing. You see on those little wheels.
Got it.
So chances are what happened was that whoever did it, either by accident or on purpose or whatever, it went twink and it just went right over the rail, and the rail isn't real high off the ground.
No, it's like 4 inches or something.
But
it's
it's
not
high
a big
enough.
deal.
I mean, the height of the rail is like not even 4, actually. It's barely 3, if anything. Yeah, and the wheels hang down, and they tack back and forth. So yeah, that can happen. Because I can't get into a whole lot of detail on everything concerning the ride.
Right. But I was just surprised that it actually happened. And the interesting thing about it is now, because it has happened once, people are going to try to do it.
So here's the thing. It's happened more than once. Okay, this is the first time you're hearing really about it on the news.
I'm sure it's just someone happened to catch it on video, and that's the problem. Is that now it's across social media. The Disney quote unquote news sites are reporting it, and every time they report something like this, some bonehead goes like, "Oh, I'm going to do that."
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
So it's the derailment has happened in certain other areas of the ride too, but I won't get into that. But it has happened before.
Well, I mean, it's an inevitability. I mean, it's not a perfectly closed system, and it's not like it's locked to the track.
Yeah, and so unfortunately they have to have like maintenance has to come out and get the car and get it off of there and whatever. And that's why the road is down, because they have to do that. They have to get all the people out so they can get everyone out of there, so they can go in there, get the darn car off the track, and then check everything, whatever.
Right.
It's just a big hassle, and then the ride come back up. But it's like it's like one of many reasons why the ride could possibly go down.
Right. Well, and that ride has had so many revisions over the years. It's gone through so many different cars. It's like, short of wiping it out and starting over, there's going to be technology mismatches and things like that. So, not Not a problem.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it didn't look dangerous, and it didn't look like anybody got hurt. I was just wondering how it happened, because it seems like such a oddball. With all the times that I've been on that ride, I've never done that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, like I said, because it was videoed and everything, and everyone's shocked that this happens, and everyone on the ride, I post. We have our group, the ride group has a secret page on Facebook that I'm not going to mention what it's called or anything.
Sure.
But I posted the Reddit thing in there, and all I saw was laughing, because they're like, but because it happens,
right?
But but it's not the first time.
No. It's just the first time that it's getting a lot of coverage.
Yes.
The ride was put in 1955. It is 70 years old. So, I mean, obviously this has happened before. But it's, it's getting widespread coverage. And like the thing where, if somebody got busted by Disney for showing a lot of underboob and then getting a free shirt out of it, there's always somebody who's like, oh, wait, we can do that? Let's try to make that happen.
Yeah. I know.
And that's the sort of state of the sort of Disney news reporting sites these days.
Can you imagine the chaos that occurred when they had the ride originally, when they first opened it? There were no guide rails.
There were no guide rails.
Cars or something.
And the cement was soft, and it had all sorts of issues, It had all sorts of problems.
It would have been nuts. Like, derail. Yeah, you mean detrack.
Right.
People like crashing, flying off the track, everything.
Well, and that
would have been nuts.
The way the cars are now, if you can bump the car in front of you, but it's set up with cushioned bumpers and things like that, and you can do minimal damage to the car in front of you. When you didn't have that guide rail, it was bumper car city everywhere. And if you look at the cars, the original cars used to have these really big guardrails all around it because they knew people were going to do it. So, it's pretty funny. I knew it wasn't a big deal. I knew nobody really got hurt. It was just kind of a surprise to see.
Yeah.
So, but
it's more along the lines. Well, guess what? Now all the other people that are on the track behind this guy's got to wait and wait and wait and wait.
Oh, did they have to get evacuated, or did they just have to wait until the thing was cleared and then drive on?
It said they cleared the ride.
So they'll clear the ride. I'm not sure exactly how it works. If there's people that can't get back in their cars to the area, chances are the best way they could do it that I could think of is probably the same way that we handle other original things. So it depends on how many people were stuck behind this person, and they'd have to basically send a number of cars on a separate track to go around empty, so they can get out of the car they're in into the other one to drive it all the way back in, and then exit the ride up down there. It would have been crazy.
Well,
but just glad I wasn't there.
So I want to bring something up. Don says he's ridden it a bunch of times in the last 10 years, and the engine quit every time. And the reason I bring this up is not because it's a problem with the Autopia, but Don is currently working on the Studebaker engine. I mean, is that a thing we should
worry
be
about?
Encouraging? Right. Like,
So the Autopia cars, when you're not driving, if say you're sitting waiting to get either started and going, or when you're coming back to get off the ride, what'll happen is they'll sit and it will stall, and it's doing that purposely. It's basically turning off the engine, so it saves gas.
Oh, okay. So
you'll just be sitting there, the engine will go bloop. Them stalling out while you're driving it, that can happen too. It's usually when it's hotter, they stall more often.
Yeah.
When it's hotter. But there's other things that happen, like weird changes in the level, like the derail, but like areas where you're going down the slope and then you go back up a little bit.
Right.
And sometimes the gas running around everywhere can make it stall, kind of stuff.
Well, and I always think of the motors in those as sort of akin to fancy lawnmowers, and I've certainly stalled out enough lawnmowers. So
yeah.
Well, cool. I'm glad it wasn't
the
serious.
engines that are in there the engines in there right now are actually Honda engines.
Right. Being sponsored by Honda.
Could be from could be from Honda lawnmowers. I don't know how to make lawnmowers. No clue.
They do.
So, yeah. So maybe that's what they're from. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah, there is a wide selection of Honda lawnmowers.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
you can crank that baby up to
Yeah. Well, they have self-propelled lawnmowers, and they have electric lawnmowers.
Yeah.
So there you go. Maybe that's the answer is to switch them over to electric lawnmower engines.
It's probably we're just gonna get the lawnmower that's electric.
Right. Put a seat on it.
And it's not a speed issue. They only go like about 6 miles an hour. They're not really fast.
Right.
But they're fun.
But it lets kids drive, and that's a big deal.
Yeah. It's still troublesome that when people are like someone's waiting to get there, get off the car, to get out of the car, at the end, and someone comes in full speed and doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It's literally, you go wham and you will feel it. That's why we're always yelling, or not yelling, but telling them, do not bump the cars.
Right.
But sometimes people will do it on accident and on purpose too. They do it on purpose.
That PA system is there for a reason.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Well, Sean, you want to get started on the rest in peace section?
I will. We did lose a few people past week, sadly. At the age of 87, Loretta Swit, best known for playing Hot Lips Houlihan on MASH, passed away at her home in New York City. Natural causes, nothing untoward. And she was nominated every year for 10 years. She won the Emmy in 1980 and 1982 for her work. And Alan Alda and everybody has given tremendous kudos to her. And it said she worked hard in showing the writing staff how they could turn the character from a one-joke sexist stereotype into a real person with real feelings and ambitions. We celebrated the day the script came out, listing her character not as Hot Lips, but as Margaret. And that was a pretty big deal. So, of course, MASH went on longer than the actual Korean War. And everybody had their moments to shine. And there was an episode called The Nurses, which had her as the head of the nurses, and everything that you'd watched happen on the series came to a head, where she basically lit into her nursing staff, talking about how she always felt ostracized and how it sucks to be the leader, and like nobody even will give her a cup of coffee, and that's why she's so mean to them. If they want to know, is that she's like cut out by them. She got some really meaty, chewy roles as time went on, and she got past her, jokey comedy foil for Ferret Face Frank. So, anyway, she had all sorts of other stuff she did too, but she'll always be remembered for MASH. She did some stuff with Rip Torn, and she was in a feature movie called Whoops Apocalypse, which was based on a TV or show in Britain and stuff. So some other stuff. Very sad to hear of her passing. Valerie Mahaffey passed away at the age of 71. Best known for being on Northern Exposure, I think. Did a couple of other things, Big Sky, Desperate Housewives.
Yeah.
She was in Sully and in Seabiscuit. And she had apparently had a long battle with cancer, which was really pretty sad. She won an Emmy for the... she was the town hypochondriac in Northern Exposure, which she did for 5 years. Eve was her name. So sad to hear of her. Boardwalk Empire actor Devin Harges died at the age of 41, which is a bit too young. He also had a cancer diagnosis last February, a very, very short term. He was in Gotham, Orange is the New Black, Daredevil, and other stuff like that. Renee Victor, who was the voice of Abuelita in Coco, passed away at 86. The official Pixar Instagram recognized her for voicing Abuelita, and she was also starring as Lupita in Weeds on Showtime. She was the sort of snarky maid. And when she got started in LA in the 1960s, she was a musician, and she worked with Xavier Cugat and Perez Prado with Latin music and stuff. And then she started performing as sort of the Latin version of Sonny and Cher. She was Ray and Renee for 10 years, from 1963 to 1973, with a couple of songs that did pretty well. And then she had a host here on KTLA that was a talk show that was focused around the Chicano movement at the time in the 1970s. And then she did Matlock and Scarecrow, Mrs. King, The Masquerade, and a bunch of things like that, including the Addams Family cartoon series and even a Paranormal Activity movie. So really, really busy. But anyway, she was the housekeeper to Mary Louise Parker's character on Weeds, which was a pretty chewy role for her. Jonathan Joss, King of the Hill, he was a voice actor who died at the age of 59 in a shooting outside his home in Texas. The police report is kind of vague on what was going on and why the shooting happened. But he was John Redcorn in King of the Hill and Chief Ken Hotate in Parks and Recreation. And just recently, he lost his childhood home and his dogs to fire. Well, he was having a pretty terrible year to start, and
Probably,
then
nasty people.
Yeah, and I don't.
I heard that it was a hate crime.
Yeah, the guy who shot him was yelling homophobic slurs. He died in the arms of his husband, which was really terrible. And it's just Texas, man. I mean, ugh. And the United States is not very tolerant of such things these days, and it makes me very sad, especially as we're coming out of Pride Month and all the Pride parades that we've been doing and things like that. It's just, I'm a big fan of letting people live and let live, and people who do that kind of weirdness really bum me out. So anyway, those are the people we lost this week. Jonathan Joss shouldn't have happened at all. And just, it's frustrating to me when people do things like that. So,
Jeff, what you got for speed round?
So terrible. Okay, well, let's brighten this up a little bit. Fantastic Four. For the new Fantastic Four coming out, First Steps. they couldn't always. There's certain scenes they have to set up, I'm guessing, and and maybe Ivan Mas Backrax wasn't there at the time in his little dotted suit and everything, but they were able to overcome, and instead of him when he's not there, they had a rock named Jennifer used as a stand-in for the thing.
Why?
That's funny.
Why Jennifer?
That's pretty awesome.
I mean,
oh my goodness,
was it supposed to be like named after a particular Jennifer?
I they don't really say why. I guess they thought it was funny. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I just want to know if they named it after Jennifer Lawrence or something like that.
Yeah, they don't really say. It's just like we went into the desert and found a rock that looked exactly how we thought the thing should look, and filmed it in every single shot that the thing appears in the movie under every lighting environment.
That's really funny.
And then and it just doesn't say. It's like I wish they did say why Jennifer, but they just do not. I'm assuming it was they just thought it was a good name to use. Funny.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow.
I love that.
I wanted to talk about the Disney 70th anniversary food. They've got nostalgic foods for the 70th. So there's two different articles. One of them is called Disneyland Nostalgic Foods for the 70th, which I think kind of is a little bit better of a guide than the foodie guide. Either one of them will tell you the foods that they have. But the vintage one leans heavily into the vintage, so it's kind of fun. Sean's pulled it up on the screen so people can see. They've got a Mickey hat cookie, which says Mickey Mouse Club on it. It doesn't. They don't have your name written on the back, so
right.
Sorry
that
about
would
that.
That would be too much.
But they tell you in the article that he's showing. They tell you what the inspiration is, why it's part of a celebration for the 70s.
It does not mention the man that you met who created the Mickey Mouse ear hat.
It was somebody my dad went to school with, invented the Mickey Mouse hat, and was the seller of the Mickey Mouse hats to Disneyland for years.
What is this, a potbelly?
It's a chili cheese corn dog.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And this is because Walt loved chili. That's why they're celebrating this, and you can get it at Corn Dog Castle.
Oh man, this looks like a
California
stomach ache at a theme park.
It does. It looks awful.
Yeah, Walt liked hot dogs too. Apparently, there's a reason why trash cans are so far apart at Disneyland.
Yes,
it's how far you can walk.
The amount of time it takes to eat a hot dog.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, well, and he also he used to give his dogs hot dogs as treats and as teases to get his dog to do stuff. And when he was working on Disneyland, he talked about each area that had to have a weenie, and the weenie was the thing that brought people into the land, the way he would tease his dogs. Yeah.
The Lisa says that the chili cheese dog is what you want before going on Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Mission Breakout.
Right. I can, or the Matterhorn, or anything that jostles you around a lot. I always joke. I always say this kind of loudly when I'm in Rise of the Resistance before the escape pod drops. I'll always say, man, I wish I hadn't eaten that fill in the blank. And this is a prime candidate. Man, I wish I hadn't eaten that chili cheese corn dog.
So I also wouldn't necessarily eat the Walter E. Disney chili cheese baked potato.
It looks like something I should throw.
Yeah, it does.
Like a weapon.
It's just they took a baked potato and they filled it with chili and a slice of cornbread.
And they jammed a piece of cornbread in it. I mean...
And then it was a hat tip to WD Enterprises or Imagineering.
I would eat this at home. It's not bad at home. I'm just not sure it's theme park fare.
Yeah.
So this is a bizarre one. Lemon chiffon pretzel. It's at the pretzel stand near Star Tours, and it is a cream cheese filled pretzel dipped in lemon flavored icing and topped with crushed vanilla wafers.
Man, it looks weird.
Walt had a very Midwest, mid-century flavor palette. So,
yeah.
And this was because one of Walt's favorite pies was lemon chiffon pie. So they were trying to get close to a lemon chiffon pie.
Sure.
I think they
missed.
I think they should have just had a lemon chiffon pie.
Well.
Hey, before you move on, what was the thing we were talking about? Pecans.
It was like a Pride festival or something.
Oh, that's what it was. Pecan
and
Pride.
the font that they were using for the Pride Festival
Yeah.
was wacky. And so when I took my first glance at it, it looked like it said Pecan Festival.
Right. And we were talking about Billy Crystal in Where Harry Met Sally, and it was Pecan Pride. It just popped in my head. I couldn't remember what it was. So, okay.
And then they've got the chili experience on a fried tamale walking taco.
Frito the Kid.
The dish is a fusion of two items once served at Casa de Fritos in Frontierland, which was a tac cup and a Frito chili pie. The tac cup was an open-faced taco in a fried corn tortilla, and the Frito chili pie, of course, was... I'm
mesmerized by this Frito dispensing unit. For 5 cents, you got a bag of Fritos from the Frito Kid.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's and see this picture is what Dapper Day was all about. I mean, look at the clothes these people are wearing. Look at Mom, who went to Disneyland in that dress.
Right. I would go to Disneyland in that dress, but not those heels. But look at Dad with his Argyle socks.
Doesn't help what, Jeff?
I was saying it doesn't help me that when I first saw this picture, the kid's hand looked like he was actually throwing up, you know.
Oh, yeah. The kid's trying to put his money into the Frito dispenser machine or whatever. And but that's pretty funny.
So then there's a mocha cream puff also at Rancho del Zocalo that is a cream puff filled with cinnamon mocha pastry cream topped with chocolate-covered corn chips, which sounds revolting.
No. I'm gonna say no. I love mocha, but no. You'll try it, Jeff?
I'd try it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing is a nod to the Tahitian Terrace, which used to be a hula dance show. It was like a Hawaiian show would happen on the Tahitian Terrace, and now it's just like a Dole Whip dispensary.
It was Tahitian Terrace, then it became Aladdin's Storytime Theater place. And then it's gone back to a sort of Tahitian Terrace-y kind of area where you could get bao and various flavors of Dole Whip.
Yeah, and Dole Whip.
Yeah, and you could find Rosita.
So yes, there too. Rosita's there. Very loud. Rosita.
So you can get, in honor of the Tahitian Terrace, you can get a tropical rum cocktail at Carnation Cafe, or you can get grilled Tahitian ribs at Bengal Barbecue. That looks pretty good.
Like with bones?
I think so.
Served with white rice and pineapple slaw.
Yeah, I think we've had their pineapple slaw before.
Yeah,
I think we like it.
I'm in. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Carnation Ice Cream Parlor opened with Disneyland on July 17th, 1955, with an ice cream counter on Main Street. And now it's a restaurant, and they've got what looks like a really grotesque braised beef, bacon, onions, and mushrooms over egg noodles.
Oh, no.
Sean worries about the mushrooms, but it's funny because in the photo, it looks like egg yolks, but it's actually onions.
It looks terrible. Yeah. Beef stroganoff.
Yeah. But they also have, over on Main Street at the Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor, they've got a banana split. And also a banana split churro if you go over to California Adventure.
Oh, okay.
And then They also wanted to remind you of what they had in Fantasyland, the whole piratey Chicken of the Sea restaurant that they used to have.
Oh, yeah.
So at Red Rose Tavern in Fantasyland, which is where the pirate ship Chicken of the Sea restaurant used to be, they've got a Hook's Galley tuna melt.
Wow.
Which would be fine if it weren't for the olive they have spiked on a little tiny sword going through it. I would remove the olive and
You're such a fan of olives.
feed it to the ducks. I don't know. But they also have at River Bell Terrace, they have apple pancake rolls, which used to be at the Pancake House, which is where the River Bell is now.
Right,
River Bell Terrace.
the Aunt Jemima Pancake House.
Well, they didn't say that.
I know they didn't say that
article.
part. Well, and so the interesting thing about the Aunt Jemima Pancake House, there's a thing that's a meme that's going around that people are like all up in arms about how they got rid of Aunt Jemima and, stupid woke people, blah, blah, blah. But
Aunt Jemima wasn't real.
right, the reality is that Aunt Jemima wasn't real. She was played by something like 10 different actresses, and the radio version of Aunt Jemima was played by 2 different white women. And so, Aunt Jemima has a problematic history. One of the things that was really interesting, though, is that Aunt Jemima was one of the first representatives of African Americans in the theme park, because they had an actress, and I can't remember her name right now, but it was one particular actress who was there every day standing out in front of that restaurant being Aunt Jemima.
Yeah.
And, it's awkward, but it's interesting in the sense that, at least, somebody was representing. And, of course, that changed later on.
Yeah.
We had a number of people who worked their way through the management of Disneyland and properly represented African Americans in the park.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Yeah, I think Jungle Cruise, all the natives were a body cast of an African American man, like all the natives in the ride.
They ended up going through and changing that too.
Yeah, with another guy.
It was a less than flattering portrayal.
So then
Yeah.
next items on the menu are Tomorrowland items. Well, sort of.
Wow.
One of them is from Videopolis.
Yeah, can I just say that I'm showing a picture from Videopolis. Do you remember that? Holy cow.
I don't think I ever went to Videopolis. Not even once.
Well, I mean, you don't go to Disneyland to dance, but if you were a local, I'm sure that was a thing.
Yeah, I have been to Disneyland to dance, but
It's
not
weird that they
dancing.
They called. It's weird that
they've-
it was like, it's Tomorrowland. It kind of wasn't.
No, it was
No.
Fantasyland.
It wasn't
Yeah,
really
they're
located.
saying they're futuristic items. Yeah, so
And just so you know, Jeff,
I was the one who said Tomorrowland.
you're getting quieter. You're getting harder to hear. So I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't know if your mic changed or something.
Maybe that'll fix it.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
much better.
position.
So at the Troubadour Tavern, they've got sweet berry lemonade with blackberry topper and colorful sanding sugar. That is a celebration of Videopolis. And that is like, I would call that 80s blue.
Cool.
Yeah. It looks like an icy for sure.
And then this is the Tomorrowland item, the Space Place cottage fries.
Tasty Windex.
At the Galactic Grill, you
okay.
can get these fries tossed in Parmesan butter and parsley, served with ranch. And they used to be served at the Space Place restaurant in Tomorrowland from 1977 to 1996.
And the Space Place is now where much of the Space Mountain line is. They used to have all these food places and the dining area is still there, but the food place is long gone.
Yeah, the menu part is still there. Like the upper menu thing is still there. They just recovered it.
Yeah, you can see where everything was. They
Rocket
just
through the stars.
Disney has a tendency to not take stuff out. They just cover it up.
Yeah.
And the Golden Horseshoe Review has cowboy fries, which are fries with nacho cheese, ground beef, burger sauce, and butter pickles.
Oh man.
I'm not sure
No, I can't.
It says Frontierland restaurants used to offer hamburgers in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So that's what they're...
Yeah, I can't handle this. This is not a thing for me.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, no. We went to In-N-Out for dinner, and this is like everything at In-N-Out just jammed into one big mess. It's not for me.
And yet, oh man, the fries that they have topped with stuff at Hungry Bear, the barbecue fries are so good.
See, those are great, but this thing looks like it's just a mess. It's just a mess.
So if you click on that foodie guide, if we have another minute, the desserts that they're having at the World of Color Happiness dessert party look pretty cool.
Foodie guide.
It was right there.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was on the screen that you had up before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you go into our document,
that's where I went and I couldn't find it in the document. Okay, I'm back to the screen.
It's right.
Where's the foodie guide? Here. Okay, it's a text link.
Yeah.
All right.
The little box of food that they have for the dessert party right there is it looks pretty neat. I imagine if they just put this out on dishes, it wouldn't look nearly as cool.
Right.
And it kind of looks like they've got crackers and cheese and then a whole bunch of desserts.
Not bad.
Cookies and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, the way it's packaged makes it look more exciting. Also, the Alien Pizza Planet has got whole pizzas. So you can get a barbecue chicken and pineapple pizzas by the slice.
Right.
But they also have whole pizzas.
See,
there.
that's very much my speed, is that pizza. That's great. And then this is stuff that we've largely seen before.
Yep.
More drinks and stuff.
Like a meringue?
You're going heavy on the...
It's a chocolate chip mousse with a cocoa sponge and red glitter glaze, I believe.
Okay. I want to get that. Yeah. I want to get that and just say this means something.
Right.
It does mean something. Well, you can get that at Blue Bayou, so you have to make a reservation.
They have dipped the macaron in buttercream, strawberry jam, and sprinkles. Oh, no, they're two. I see. Okay. The coconut macaron is dipped in white chocolate and sprinkles. The sprinkles are new. But the white chocolate is the same. That's the Matterhorn macaron.
The macaroon.
Right.
And then the macaron.
And then there's the 70th century macaron.
Yeah.
Which is the one that's right.
Very different.
Yes.
Cookie. A macaroon and a macaron.
And it doesn't even really look like a macaron.
No, it looks like cake with a single side of macaron on top of it.
Right. All righty.
So, Sean, what do you want to talk about?
So if you grew up near a radio at any point, you may have been blessed to receive the signal of Dr. Demento. I know here in Los Angeles, he was a fixture where he broadcast out of the Mighty Met, KMET 94.7. We used to listen to him every Sunday night, and his show also became syndicated. Dr. Demento is the person responsible for Weird Al Yankovic's career, gave him his start and backed him. Al, of course, had the talent to keep that going. But Al would record tapes up at UC Santa Cruz in the bathroom, send them to Weird Al, send them to Dr. Demento. Dr. D would play them on the air. There were a lot of people who did that, who got a good start. Barnes and Barnes was one of those. It was Bill Mumy from Lost in Space as Art Barnes. Yeah. And so, you could just send in parody songs and it would be a thing. So he started doing these in at 106.7, which is now K-Rock, but it used to be KPPC in Pasadena. And that was in 1970, and he started pretty quickly going to the novelty songs and comedy and things like that. And up until 1987, he had this Sunday evening show. He's moved online, but he's been doing this for 55 years. And he's decided that he's going to retire in October, which is when he hits that anniversary. And we haven't heard much from Dr. D because he did go online. He went to a subscription-only kind of format. But he is responsible for the weird childhood that many of us had if you were of a certain age. And I used to sit there when we moved to Simi Valley from the San Fernando Valley. I had a radio that I had to add a coat hanger to for extra antenna to try to get it. And when that didn't work, I had to hold the antenna with my hand and use my body as an antenna to be able to pull in his show. And it was always worth it. It was always so much fun. But anyway, Barrett Hansen is Dr. Demento's real name, and he's a bona fide musicologist and just nuts. And he brought us all sorts of terrific comedy, put Weird Al together with Bermuda Schwartz, who was hanging out at the Dr. D show. And has kept a lot of people's career going, probably past a time that they should have, just because he was the main outlet for that. So we have a show here on this station that's called Strange Transmissions that owes a lot to Dr. Demento, the same kind of show. So if you grew up with him, try to catch him for the next couple of months. One of the shows is going to be the top 20 songs of all time, I think. 20? 40? I don't remember how many he's going to do. So he's going to do the top songs from his show, although I could pretty much guarantee you that Fish Heads is number one, because it was almost always number one. That was a Barnes & Barnes song. And he's also going to do a show where he plays his favorite top 20 songs. And that I would like to hear very much.
Are these going to be the same things as the subscription service to hear them?
They're online, but we might be able to find a place to find them. Somebody archives these somewhere, and you can actually look up almost any Dr. Demento show and get the playlist, which is really interesting. So if you remember a particular day you were listening, or your birthday, or something like that in a particular year, you can go look it up, because there's a huge fan base that documents that kind of thing. And you can find out what songs he played in what order and why on a given day.
Yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah, I think...
sorry.
I think my favorite song for him, and I'll do an article, but I think my favorite song by him that he played, not by him, that he played was Existential Blues.
That's really high.
Existential Blues are really good
on the list. Yeah, and Colleen was mentioning earlier Utah Phillips and Moose Turd Pie. Most of us came to that through Dr. Demento, which was great. There's all sorts of stuff. There was a song that I played on my show earlier this week as we did a little tribute to Dr. D. That was from a group called Cruella de Vil, which were a couple of Irish folks who, did a hard rockin' song about two evil kids. We heard Johnny Cash on that show, Shel Silverstein on that show.
Detachable penis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All sorts of crazy things on there.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
Helen Thorne says The Scotsman.
Yeah, The Scotsman, which I can bust out at any time.
Canis Transapiens says Boot to the Head and Pico and Sepulveda.
Right. Played Pico and Sepulveda earlier this week. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, which some of these songs made the leap to regular radio and became standards, like Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. But Gotta Get a Fake ID. There was a song called Circular Impression, which was a guy talking about the problems he was having with birth control in his wallet.
Yeah. The drive-through. Come on.
We're stuck in the drive-through, right?
It's like the one where it's like, a cheeseburger,
fries, and a large orange drink. He played what Cheech and Chong he could on the show. And he also released a whole bunch of albums, too, that were collections of great stuff. We heard Star Trip, Star Drek, Star Trekkin'. All sorts of stuff.
Yep.
And, he also played the Star Wars Christmas album around Christmas. Really amazing guy. And he's been a blast to meet over the years. And the airwaves are going to be quieter without him, really. But we'll see hopefully he's just taking a break and retiring, and he gets to have some fun as a retiree. And there's nothing serious going on with him. So,
my article is not really an article. It is actually an advertisement. If you want to think about it. Over at Lowe's, they have released what their new Haunted Mansion selections are going to be this year. You can't get them yet, but they showed you what they are. And it's, let's see here, it looks like 2 tombstones and a cat tombstone is word, and the actual Haunted Mansion sign. But they have like the headless knight, and you have the grave. I guess gravedigger or whatever you want to call them. But I don't remember this woman without her who's holding her head from the Haunted Mansion. But maybe I'm not privy to that one.
Is it her head or another head?
It's like her head. She's holding her head in her hand.
Do we have a link in the document to these?
Yes.
It just
says
to
reload it,
talking
Sean?
lighted zombie.
Maybe I do. I can't find it.
Yeah. You'll also get the hitchhiking ghost in a little, I guess like in sort of a little snow globe and a few other things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting also, this article doesn't actually have, it's not an article, it's a Lowe's page, but it doesn't have everything. There's an indoor collection too. Let me look for that.
Yeah.
Do you want me to shoot you the link, Sean?
What section is it in?
So
it is under
so
other.
What it tells you is
it's under other. There should be 4 items under other, not 2.
Yeah, okay, I found it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it says haunted living freestanding talking lighted zombie animatronic. So there's literally nothing in their description that tells you who this is.
Right. Well, and some of these I think are old. Like we have seen the we've seen the Gravedigger before. We've seen the gate posts before. Madame Leota was there last year, her tombstone. So some of these are repeats. Some of them are pretty cool looking though.
There's a with the indoor collection.
Yeah.
I don't see how it's indoor. It's some of the same stuff, but they've got a dog tombstone with a dog holding a basket of flowers.
Huh.
Yeah. And there's like a cat one, and
it's just the sales pages are difficult.
Yeah, this thing, Jeff, that's the headless woman, I don't think is part of the Haunted Mansion collection.
Yeah, and it's just in the picture, and I'm like, who is this?
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Just threw it in there too.
It's not. Oh, it is in the picture though. That's weird. Maybe she's supposed to be Madame Leota. It said haunted living, but it didn't say she was part of the Haunted Mansion collection.
Yeah, because her head's of the thing, so maybe it's supposed to be her. Maybe Madame Leota got her head chopped off.
They actually released their entire collection, which appears to be going on sale on Friday, July 13th. If you back up in those links to just go to Halloween decorations and not the specific Haunted Mansion, they show all of their items, and the Haunted Mansion items are in amongst them. But apparently these are going to be released shortly, like next week.
Oh, I thought this was a there was a thing, a link that Lisa posted, but it only has 2 tombstones in it. I thought it had more, but Anyway.
So yeah, you can just, if I go and put the search in for Haunted Mansion itself, then it shows you a lot more.
Okay.
And I don't know which ones were not available and which ones were, and that kind of thing. So
yeah, it's weird.
But they do show them a lot here.
Let me jump in here real quick. Remind you that you're listening to DB94. I am Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And we're going a little bit over time here. Nothing too big. But we're talking about the Haunted Mansion stuff that's coming.
If you go, Sean, to Lowe's.com and type Haunted Mansion into the search, you get a better look at the stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
And it starts with Haunted Mansion items, and then it goes to Haunted Living, where they've got like a 6-foot freestanding motion-activated talking lighted sea diver animatronic.
And that's the woman with no head. She's part of that Haunted Living thing.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she's included in the Haunted Mansion stuff.
I don't know.
Apparently,
It's because she looks kind of like the character, you know.
Yeah, but she's not really the Haunted Mansion. So apparently, you can buy all 10 things in one kit for $1,266.
Wow.
And it includes the animatronic figures and like the Master Gracie portrait, the tombstones.
Yeah.
They've got the well, this is weird. It says Haunted Mansion Hitchhiking Ghosts.
Yeah.
But it is actually the singing busts.
Oh, there is a hitchhiking ghost thing.
Right. This is right next to it, and it's not very well done. So I wouldn't, not that I would probably spend the $250 anyway, but
it's cartoony.
Yeah, it's very cartoony.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it didn't come up on my page.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
like it's inflatable.
This site is a nightmare.
It is, and Lisa said that this website is always a disaster
because it's got Haunted Mansion, Disney Haunted Mansion,
Kelly.
Haunted Mansion Halloween, all of this crazy stuff.
Hi, Kelly.
So,
at any rate, you guys know where to go look and be frustrated by the search feature, but at least you can take a look.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Sean, you had 2 items that you advertised that we never got to. I don't know if you want to grab those before we check out.
I did. One of them was this. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway is getting a bit of a cast change in November 11th for a 19-week run, so from November to mid-March. And it's notable because Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy in the movies, is stepping in to do the same role as an adult on stage, on Broadway. So it's his Broadway debut. He's the first member of the Harry Potter film cast to do that. He's very excited to do it because he gets to revisit his character as an adult, as a father. He gets to sort of advance it in a very different way. And it's kind of interesting. Of course, he's been working in other projects as an actor. He's never really stopped doing that as he's gotten older.
Yeah.
But, I mean, who wouldn't want to be able to just step right into a role on Broadway? That's absolutely amazing. So he's super excited by it. It's kind of interesting. Normally, we don't do much to promote J.K. Rowling stuff, but I will point out that these plays on Broadway and the touring productions actually employ a lot of LGBTQ people. There's a lot of folks in the Harry Potter plays that J.K. Rowling would take umbrage at, and not Dolores Umbridge, just Umbridge. We went and saw the play. We actually enjoyed it. They squished it down from 2 nights to 1 night, and it was a much more successful project.
The story wasn't great, but the special effects were out of this world. They were so good.
And it was better, I think, to see it than to read it.
It was awful
for
as
sure.
a book.
It was not a really good book, but yeah, I think that there's a very fine line that I try to straddle of not supporting Rowling, but I know that Harry Potter means a lot to a lot of people, and I know a lot of people in the queer community who used Harry Potter as their escape, and still do, and they love the story even if they don't love the writer. And it's a very tough line to walk. So do so to your own conscience, of course. We try not to give her any money. That's our thing. So that's what we do. The second item that I was talking about was the One Piece anime Lego sets that are coming.
Okay.
One Piece, of course, was really successful. Anime series, and of course it's been very popular in its first season on Netflix, where they did a pretty great anime to live action conversion. The effects are terrific, and the casting is well done. Really kind of dug it. So you're getting very location-based sets. There's a Buggy the Clown circus tent, the Windmill Village hut, the Barrety floating restaurant. There's a bunch of Brickheads figures coming with Luffy and Buggy the Clown, and of course the Going Merry pirate ship is represented too. It looks like a lot of fun, and if you guys are still here. I will give you a quick peek at it over here. So here's the pirate ship in all of its Lego and anime inspired glory. And of course, it comes with a whole bunch of cast members and things like that. And they really do seem to be erring on the side of anime, but it does a good double duty because the live action show on Netflix, I think, is so accurate to it that it's pretty great. So the pirate ship's going to be almost 1,400 pieces, which is pretty respectable. And of course, it'll be $140. So it usually works out to like a dime a piece, I think. And so that's keeping in line with everything that's going on. And they're doing some fun stuff. Like if you've seen the series, you know that Luffy can stretch, and they've got some stretchable arms and things attached to his figure, which looks pretty cool, which also may bode well for the Fantastic Four series of Legos when those come out, because we're going to need those for the dock. So anyway, it looks.
I need a Pedro Pascal Lego.
Right. Oh, yeah. We're going to get it. And I'd be surprised if there isn't one already with the Mandalorian. Take off his helmet and there's his face. But anyway.
Take off his helmet. That's right.
Well, I mean, there were times where he was required to not have a helmet. Yeah. So
anyway. Just stick him behind a little wall so the other Legos can't see him.
That's right. Somebody must have a guy in blue jeans behind a wall Lego set. That's like a fan-made mock. That'd be pretty funny. I think that covers everything that I was teasing that we were gonna do. Yeah. So we will do that. And to all y'all who were sticking around, I appreciate it. Young Lee just took off. The Lady A is still here. Lisa is taking out. Eric's heading out. Good night, everybody. We appreciate you hanging out. Thanks to Kit, who kept our document rolling this week. And we will see all you guys next week. Don't forget that sci-fi.radio runs 24/7. And don't forget that I am on the air from 9 to 11 every morning on sci-fi.radio. That's a URL. Or you can ask Alexa or a smart speaker to play sci-fi.radio. That works too. And I'm always glad to have your company, especially if you come hang out on Discord with me. Jeff gives me the birthday list every day, which gives me some fun stuff to play. And we have a pretty good time every morning. So you can join me there. Otherwise, check out the news stories out there and consider that Patreon, if you will. And then, of course, we're on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. Like or subscribe or do whatever to let us know that you were there. And we have a podcast that we're still working out the finer points on. But I think if you go to Apple Podcasts, it does show up there too. If you want something to listen to on your drive, more on that when we get the bumps smoothed out of it.
Yep, I know. I should look for something, but yeah.
Sweet.
Good night.
Go.
Like,
so.
well, usually we say our names, but good night.
We did say our names.
Did we say our names?
Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier.
Oh.
We said it at the top of the hour.
Oh, we did. Top of the hour. All right. Well, okay. To you people on the video, see all y'all later on. I leave you with our credits page here.